If you'd like to have a successful transition from corporate to entrepreneurship, Mutiat Adebowale is going to tell us how. And what's so special about Mutiat is that she's a leadership development and startup consultant who helps senior female corporate professionals transition successfully into entrepreneurship. So tell us, Mutiat, corporate professionals turn to entrepreneurship and make it a big success.
Welcome to Awakened Titans podcast with Lily Patrascu. Mind-blowing conversations with influential business titans sharing how you can manifest abundance, love, joy, success through quantum awakening, quantum manifestation, quantum healing, quantum miracles, exponential business growth, and innovative products and services.
Okay, thank you so much, Lily, for your question. That is so fantastic. There are a number of ways that corporate professionals can become entrepreneurs and make a success of it. And usually what I do is I use, blueprints, because whatever we're doing, the good thing is to be structured. So I use particular blueprints that helps people that I work with transition seamlessly. And what they do is basically go through like a 3-step model where we talk about, building the right mindset for them to be able to do that transition and do it well and build their confidence as well. Because when people are able to overcome their fears, overcome the self-doubt that they have, overcome imposter syndrome, they're able to embrace entrepreneurship so seamlessly without too much trouble. You understand? Because the foundation is to have the right mindset, not operate in a corporate mindset. In an entrepreneurship, arena, that's one of the biggest things that professionals need to do to be able to build successful business.
Thank you. So tell us about the steps that that corporate professionals should take first.
Okay, so what they should be taking first, as I said, is growing the mindset that they want, the mindset that will help them, which is finding a way to refine their mindset, redefine their mindset, rewire their programming to work like an entrepreneur. Be ready before you are ready, as in start the action before you're ready. Become fearless, become bold, okay, and be ready to learn new things. Sometimes people think that the skills they have is enough for them to build businesses, to build successful business, but most of the time that's wrong, okay? So it's about understanding that they need to have great structures in their business, knowing that they need to execute some things that they probably have not been doing in the corporate world. Be bold, learn how to create and sustain high impact businesses, high impact ventures, build structures, and find a way to build business from scratch to actually scaling it. So yeah. And also wanting to be a leader of self, because for you to be able to lead a business, you want to be able to lead yourself first. That's where everything starts. For if you can lead yourself, be more disciplined, show up boldly, show up unapologetically, know what you are aiming at and go for it. Those are the tenets of building great businesses as a corporate entrepreneur, as a corporate person.
Thank you. I would say that if you're a corporate employee, and let's say you're making 50K, 100K per year, you have some sort of safety net, you have some sort of security. And let's say you have a lot of payments to make, you have mortgage, you have children, you have, I don't know. So how can corporate women continue to create security for themselves? Because whilst they're stepping into entrepreneurship, there is an element of insecurity because all of a sudden they have to deliver stuff, and perhaps they don't have like a guaranteed income because it all depends on their output. So what do you suggest they do? Do you suggest that corporate professionals start by having a side hustle first and making it work alongside their job? And when they make it happen, that is when they start to get that confidence to actually make a full step into entrepreneurship.
Well, that seemed to be one of the safest way to actually transition, which is why we call it a transition into entrepreneurship, is to move slowly and move gradually. Because apart from the fact that capital, cash, may be low, and the fact that where you get your paycheck is a different place, is really limited. Apart from that fact, in entrepreneurship, you need to do a lot of testing and validation, knowing very well that the people, the audience you're targeting, really want, love, want to pay for your products and services, and they will continue to pay for it. So you need to start slow, okay? Put your foot in the water, to understand how deep it is. So, but the thing is, you need to do something. You need to take action. So obviously the best thing is to start slowly, understand your business, understand the market, understand, what's driving your people to say yes to you, understand how you can continue to innovate within the market, how you can build a brand, how you can stand out of the crowd. And this takes a lot of processes, right? And this takes a while. It takes time. And then when we come back to the issue of funds, your capital, your safety paycheck, how you manage yourself, manage your kids, your family, and all of those things. For all of that, it takes time. So, which is why it's good to go slow to move faster. So, definitely try it as a side hustle, try it as a very small business, a trial thing, and then you continue to evolve and develop it as you get into, the nitty-gritty of you building a business, really.
Thank you. What's a good way for corporate professional women to manage their finances while transitioning into entrepreneurship?
Oh, a number of ways. Part of the things you need to be good at as an entrepreneur is managing your finances and being on top of your finances. As you know, that's the world of uncertainty. Okay, so for you to be able to, get hold of how your finances should work, I mean, there are different ways really that people would. It could be like you're saving, you have your savings, you have a lot of savings that you've been putting aside that you want to use to start your business, bootstrapping it, or you have, funding that you've got loans, you've got credit cards, you've got other ventures or other support network that can, financially, that can help you. But the most important thing is, because entrepreneurship, as we say, it's not a field of certainty. So it's good for you to understand. And the thing is, first, you have to do a lot of planning in terms of, okay, what is the business that I want to do? That's why it is very important for you to have a business plan. With a business plan, you then understand what financial implication the business would have on you, what financial plans you have to put in place so that you understand from day one, how much am I investing in this business? How much am I starting with? What are my projected, coming out? What are my projected income? What are my projected expenses? What am I expecting to make as profits or even break even? So there is a need for entrepreneurs, for people transitioning, including entrepreneurs, to constantly do a lot of financial planning so that you stay in control of your finances. Really.
How can corporate professional women create a safety for themselves outside of the corporate world?
Okay, so in creating safety for yourself, that's very interesting, because when we talk of safety, most people will think, okay, safety in terms of having my job or having, something to guarantee that I can pay my bills, my expenses are paid. But really, in terms of safety, you need to be safe Emotionally, you need to be safe. Psychologically, you need to be safe knowing that you're fit to go to work, you're happy to go to work. So, which is why, sometimes it's just okay for you to know that you have a level of control over your life. You have a level of control over your finances over time. You have a level of control over how you live your life. Okay, so basically, it's just understanding that you want to build something different, have a life outside of work. So when you're transitioning, you want to, even whilst you're transitioning, you still want to have a life outside of your work. You still have to give yourself some things that gives you pleasure. The reason most people are transitioning is because either they're frustrated at work, they don't earn enough, they're not visible, they're not seen. And for you to be safe of all of these things, because what this brings to you is, burnout, overwhelm, stress, emotional instability. You're going to work, you're feeling anxious, you're not happy. And all of these things forms what makes you safe as an individual, just not the finances. But sometimes you get paid a lot, just like you said, you get paid a lot, but you're just not happy. You just don't feel okay around you, particularly around the workplace. So it's about understanding that you want to take control of your life, which means, how do I balance my life whilst working? Which draws some people into seeking alternative means of work, let's put it that way, work, which is, having your business. Obviously, you're still doing some work. So it's about getting in control, being in control of how you want to go, just have a plan for yourself. Just have a plan for how you want to balance your life, have a life outside work. Do something that you love, something that you enjoy. And then that brings me to, always wanting, what sort of life do I want? What will give me the most, the utmost joy? And if that's building your business, being able to control what happens in your life, then why not go for it? So, yeah.
Thank you. How can professional corporate women leverage their creativity to create and make the most out of their limitless potential, so that they feel that they are truly valued, so that they feel that all of their potential is kind of coming to life in terms of creating a successful business?
Exactly. That is the main essence of transitioning, into entrepreneurship, because the place that you best use your creativity, the situation that you best use your fullest potential, is when you're not put in a box, is when you're not put in a cage, is when you're not limited by the things that you can do, by the things that you can imagine, by the innovation, creativity that you can bring to life. So it is when you let loose, when you let your imagination run, when you let your ideas run, that is when you can make the most of your potential. And unfortunately, corporate world don't allow us to do that. The reason that they don't allow us to do that is because our potential, our imagination, our creativity is larger than what any corporate, can entertain. When you begin to dig into your fullness, that's when people want to transition. I've got ideas, I've got so many things going on in my head. How can I explore this? Okay. And that is that is what makes people want to get into business. Not just that, begin to then try the ideas they have and see how they can bring it to life, really. So it's about understanding that you have a lot of potential. You have these ideas coming through you, and you want to use a step into taking action. Because you cannot make the most of your potential. You cannot make the most of your creativity, your creative ideas, without stepping out boldly and saying, this is what I've got. How can I begin to experiment on it? How can I begin to turn it into some sort of reality? How can I begin to turn it into some sort of solution for people who would make the most of it or would need it the most? So it's about taking that action, acknowledging that I've got something that I can give the world. I've got something I can create. I've got something that says more about me and what I can, impact the world with. And then taking that action to step out with it. Dare talk about it. Say something do something about it, really. That's how you can make the most of your creativity, not hiding it. You can never be known by trying to be the best kept secret, really.
Thank you. What is the checklist for corporate professional women to do so they can sustainably build a business that brings them money and makes them feel fulfilled?
A number of things. You need to be confident. You need to be confident about yourself. You need to believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, no one else will do. So it starts from you believing in yourself, believing that you can do it, believing that you can go out there and take that risk, believing in the idea that you have, really. And then saying, yes, I'm going to go with it. Be convinced. Because when you're convinced about what you want to bring to fore, you then go about it. You don't need to convince other people because people are automatically convinced from your confidence, from your conviction of what you have. And then, as I said earlier, you change your mindset. You understand that it's a world that's not certain, but you want to go into it believing that you've got something worthwhile that you can share with the world. And also, you want to understand that visibility equals profitability. You have to be able to step out, show up, be bold, speak up, okay? And just be unapologetic. Just show up with what you have got, okay? And basically, it's about you understanding that you cannot do it alone. You cannot do it alone. If you must build a successful business, you want to network with other people, you want to have mentors, you want to have coaches, you want to collaborate with other people, you want to share ideas, you want to have places you can bounce ideas with like-minded people. You cannot remain in the same circle and expand. You have to expand your circle so that you have the reach that you need, so that you reach the people that most need you and most need your things. So these are steps that you should be ready to take if you want to actually transition from corporates into entrepreneurship and make success of your entrepreneurial dream.
Thank you. How can corporate professional women turn their idea into an actual business? Like, what steps do they need to take? Is it that they have to first write down their idea? Second, do they have to test it out with some friends? Like, what kind of steps do you recommend they do to test out that their idea is a viable business?
Oh, it's just about, one, being clear about the idea. So you want to write out your idea. What is your idea? What do you want to do? Okay, so when you have this idea, find the solution or the problem within the idea. Or who will this idea that I have, who would it serve the most? Okay, because it has to be, your idea has to be something that solves problems for other people. So whose problem will this idea solve? Who are these people? That's about identifying the niche, the people you want to work with, the people that you love to work with. So you have you have a solution, which is the idea. You have the people who have the problem for your solution. That's your niche. So you need to be able to state that you have problem, you have the niche for it, and then you have channels of communicating. So you have to map out what channels do I need to communicate this through. So how do the people who need your solution find out about you? So that leads you to, communication. How do you get your word out there? And when you get your word out there, you want to validate, you want to be actually sure that these people that you believe, your solution is what keeps them awake at night, really solves the problem. You want to validate your ideas. So that could mean that maybe you are presenting your ideas in terms of some sort of product to them, some sort of resource to them, some sort of value to them. You're presenting it, either you're writing it as information sharing, or you are packaging it as a product for them to try out, to give you feedback on. And then that is how you know how much thirst there is for the product or the solution, the idea that you have that you want to make impact upon.
Thank you. How can corporate women ensure that their idea is viable in terms of making those initial sales to in order to kind of create like a safety net to be to know that, okay, their idea is not just an idea, it's a real viable product and people are actually buying it, and to have like a validation for that?
Exactly. That is where you don't have to be perfect for you to begin to make sales. You don't have to wait for the right time, because there is never a right time. In entrepreneurship, the main thing is sales. If you're not making sales, if you're not selling, then everything else is just as useless as not doing it anyway. So what you want to do is, you have your idea, you want to refine your idea, you want to find your people, and then you begin to share it with them. And there are different strategies that you can use to do this. It's just basic, depending on the business, just having a mini aspect of maybe a mini product, a mini course, a mini a small aspect of it. Just chunk it out in a way that people can see the value in there, and the way you can offer it to them as something that's going to solve their problem, and just put a price on it. Because it's you going out there. Don't be afraid that people don't know you. Packaging is everything. The way you package your thing is everything. But you must be ready to make sales, to push your products out, to push your services out. Talk to people. It's about engaging people. We use the social media to engage people. We use different ways to engage people. Social media is a very, very, very good way to engage people, to chat to people. And obviously, as I said, different strategies, but it's about getting the word out there. If you need to start doing emails to people to introduce yourself, introduce your products and services, giving them trials of it, lunch and learns, depending on what you're doing. Just a mini aspect for people to see what you're doing. Get in touch with real people who are actually in need of your product, or who you think may be needing your product, who have this problem that you're solving. Get in touch with them. Social media, like proper, because sales just don't happen like that. This is having real communication with people who will actually buy from you, having that real communication with them. And whether you're using, email marketing, whether you're using advertising, whether you're using, well, I'm not going to say aggressive, but whether you're using really fierce content marketing, you want to get the word out there. People need to know. People need to be able to test what you have, to feel what you have, for them to say, yes, we're going to buy, or we're not going to buy, Yes, so that's basically it. So just be ready to push your products out there, push your services out there. Talk to people, really. Have conversations with people. Hold meetings, schedule meetings to show people what you have, basically. That is how you can get into the market. Use your colleagues, your networks, people you've worked with before, your friends, different ways. It's just about getting really deep into those conversations that really turn ideas into sales.
Thank you. How can corporate professional women turn their skills into a sellable service or product?
Okay, so that is the core thing about the set of people that I work with, because that's what they do. They turn their skills into products and services that people can actually use. So whether you're turning your skills, there are different ways you want to turn your skills. What are your skills? So for example, if your skill was, say you've worked in the corporate for, say, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 25 years as, for example, an accountant, and then you want to begin to provide accounting services, financial support services to small business owners, for example, then what you need to do is package the skills that you have into a product, into a service, and that is how you turn your skills, so you can turn it into providing tax services, for example, to small business owners, going and helping them to sort out their tax matters, going into their companies to help them with their budgeting, to help them with their finances, to help them with their payroll problem. So it's about you understanding what aspect of my skill do people need? How can it be useful to them? And break that down into different aspects of products, or different multiple products that you can then sell at different rates. Okay. So as I made the example of like an accountant, so you can break your services up into, okay, I do payroll services for people, I do accountancy for people, I do tax services for people, and then you break that down into different services, and then you can then begin to package that. Okay, I teach you how to do it as well, or I work within you outsource a part of your financial system to me, and then I help you with that. So it's about packaging, it's about breaking down your skills, and then fine-tuning that to the need of your ideal client, really.
Thank you. Tell us where entrepreneurs can find you.
Entrepreneurs can find me on LinkedIn. Entrepreneurs can find me on LinkedIn, Mutiat Adebowale. On Instagram, Mutiat Adebowale, Startup Leadership Coach, and my website, igniteyourleadershipprowess.com. So yeah, I'm pretty much online.
Thank you.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential business titans, providing you with the insights to awaken to your full potential, so you can get paid to be yourself, find true happiness, and manifest anything you desire.